Antlers, Assumptions, and Artillery. Bright Eyes, can you get out here and keep an eye on this? The manager states, and Ashina almost perks up as she looks up from the screen. It won't be something interesting, but it will be a break from endless lines of code and the microscopic amounts of repair they need to keep ahead of degradation. She flattens down the stupid shirt she has to wear as an employee of the store, even if she is in the back and away from people 90% of the time. It was built to accommodate tails, but not tails like an Andinus has. If she shifts in her seat at all, it starts rubbing against her hairs in all the wrong way, and those suckers are what lets her know something's messing with that heavily armored part of the body. They're sensitive. All right, what's going on that needs me of all people to, she asks as she emerges from the back with the question already coming out before she looks up and up and up. Lydris are enormous creatures on average, but a Lydra so massive that each of its bodies are just as massive as a Canador is a whole other thing. The woman looks like she could eat a starship. Hello. Hello, I need some help grabbing some things without knocking all the columns down like a Leviathan-class animal, finding its first city to play with, the gigantic woman states. Yeah, no kidding. How did you even get in here? Ashina demands as she steps to the side to spot the entrance in the distance. Contrary to her expectations, there is not a trail of destruction and possible death. I spotted an open enough area to stand in and teleported, the Lydris says most reasonably. Right? Right, Ashina acknowledges as she tries to catch up with a conversation that she seemed to have started about 3 light years behind it. You're used to those drones now, girl. Pilot a few of them and get our customer what she wants, the manager says, and Ashina nods slowly. Right, okay, hang on a moment, Ashina says as she flips a switch on the front desk and a front panel opens and a pair of box-like drones float outwards and upwards, even as controls are projected from the desk with a view screen. What do you want, Miss, codename Hydra? Hydra, mythological human monster. Imagine if each of my bodies was replaced with a ravenous maw that has deadly poison in the teeth, and you have the general idea. Yes, because you're not scary enough as is. Ashina grumps, and there's a laugh before a hand, large enough to crush it like an insect, pats her on the head. She moves to bat the hand away, but stops herself. She really doesn't want to square up with someone that looks like they can and would fight entire armies and win. Anyways, I'm told that you have Balvor brand nutrient bricks. What kind of quantities do you have? She asks, and Ashina nods before inputting a few quick commands. Half a tower of it. They go up 45 levels and are 9 at the base, so 22.5 times 9. 202 pallets with half a one already partially sold, Ashina says, and Hydra nods. Good, I'll take a full cube. So 1 pallet or 27? Ashina asks. 27, Hydra says, and Ashina slowly turns to stare at the woman. Yes, I know, stupidly huge amount, there's a reason. Mass cloning an extinct species? Almost. Nutritious biomatter to mass clone luxury meats. This way, even if your diet wants veggies, you get the full benefit when pounding back nothing but luxury steak, Hydra says, and Ashina nods. That's a perfectly sensible explanation. All right, anything else, or should I just start moving the nutrient blocks to wherever you need them? Ashina asks. I'm going to need an equal amount of paste and powder to simulate sauces and seasonings, Hydra says. Right, let's see what we have for each, and then the manager here will ring up your total, Ashina says as she redirects the drones to the different towers. Huh, didn't expect the powder to be that popular. From what I understand, the humans use it as a supplement all the time. Apparently, it dissolves very well in water, and its lack of taste means it goes down easy, Hydra says as they both behold the stack reduced to the last 2 levels. What's here will have to do. 2 levels should be enough. Just shy of 2 levels, there are only 16 pallets there, Ashina says before the numbers change. Never mind, 15 and most of another. Someone just grabbed some more. All right, can you reserve that for me so that I don't lose any more? Just get it off the ground. I need to start paying before my sister loses more. Your sister? This all isn't for me, but my sister is running a clone meat steakhouse in the archaeology. She sent me to get more raw material for the cloning tanks with a preference for Balvor brand. Apparently, she's figured out almost all its tricks and only occasionally has to clean the tanks. So of course, on my day off, I'm running around carrying things because when your little sister becomes big in every way, she's suddenly the beast of burden. Hydra explains in an increasingly dry tone before snorting. She's an ambitious little thing. I'll give her that. If you say so. For all I know, she wears nothing but polka dots and big rubber noses. Ashina mutters under her breath. There's an amused snort from the oversized Lidris. Her mother had challenged her to be insulting without using any foul language. It was an interesting challenge, one that left people uninsulted most of the time. Apparently, there was a fairly powerful appreciation for a creative burn. For the paste, it looks like you're in luck. It doesn't sell as well as the powder. So we have more than plenty. A cube of 27 pallets is easily doable. Ashina assures Hydra, who nods. Right, looks like my tiny big sister will have to be satisfied with about half what she was hoping for in powder then. Hydra notes. Reserve it all, I'm going to pay now, but I need to know if you do deliveries. Not so much, but we do have a transportable portal. One that if properly set up, we can just float all your product right to wherever you want it. The manager says. That's perfect. Is there a fee? No. Ashina, if you go and set it up without an incident, and then bring the portal back here without any damage to it, I'll call today over early for you and fully successful. Deal? Deal, Ashina says before moving to get started, and then heading back to put in the commands to the drones to get the massive order into the load-off area. Then she leaves to fetch the transportable portal. Is there a history with her? Hydra asks after Ashina leaves. She's working here as punishment, not because I think she's a good employee. We were borderline overstaffed without her. Now she's going mad with boredom in the back room all day. This gets her out, and thoroughly, not my problem, while also making it so she has nothing in the way of a grudge. The manager notes and Hydra nods with several heads. Right, so I should tell you if she does something unwise. Untadasa? Yes, the manager says and Hydra nods. Now, as for your total, in a few minutes Ashina is leaving the store to meet up with the waiting Hydra just outside. All right, this way. Do you know how to brace a fall? Hydra asks Ashina, who gives her an odd look. With Axiom, my sister's restaurant is on a much lower level. If we jump down, it's really fast. I think so? Ashina asks, and Hydra gives her a long look with two bodies that then look to each other. All right, climb onto my back. No funny business with the tail, though. Hydra says, and Ashina pauses. What? You want me to ride you? You're tiny by comparison to me. I can easily take all the impact and take it from you as well. Hydra says, and after a bit, Ashina focuses some Axiom into her legs and takes a jump. Her landing is terrible, and she scrabbles to find a place to sit. There is a place between the fin and where the bodies begin, where she can situate herself. Then Hydra starts moving, and Ashina struggles to balance herself with the folded-up portal strapped to her back. When Hydra moves, she moves fast, and then she moves up slightly, and there's a call to watch out below. Then they start falling, and Ashina reaches back to grab them onto the fin and keep herself on the crazy Lidris as the world goes insane. And then it stops. There's no pain or anything. They were falling one moment and then not. Could you let go of my fin, please? You're not hurting me, but it is uncomfortable. Hydra says, and Ashina slowly lets go. You can also get off now. Yes, she can. And she does slowly, quietly. She takes a step away from Hydra and looks up to, Clear the zone, someone shouts, and she dashes away, and a man with bushy curly hair and a quartet of horns lands with one hand in the air. Ashina begins before a Nagasha. She doesn't slam or splat or flop onto the ground. But that wasn't a normal landing, as her entire serpentine tail just hits the ground at once and she slithers off as if nothing happened. It was like seeing corruption of a film file in real life. One moment things were moving, then it skips ahead like 10 seconds. The hell just happened? Come on, this way. Hydra tells her, and Ashina's attention is pulled once more to the living landmass that is the customer, and she follows her down a darker alleyway until they reach the back door of a building that Hydra vanishes in front of, and then opens the door from the inside. In here, please. She enters and pauses. Is something... That door had... The sound of a Jek-Tech plasma weapon powering up causes her to gasp, and there is movement. Ashina ducks, and the source of the sound is slammed into a wall, but a blast goes off. To no effect. Really? Some stupid gangbanger thought they could bully my sister? My sister? Hydra demands as she picks up the thoroughly knocked out and likely broken if not dead gangbanger off the ground. I told her, I'm already paying premium for protection. A new voice says in an amused tone, Aaliyah, why didn't you tell me that someone was moving in on you? She literally showed up 5 minutes after I sent you for more stuff. By the way, where is it? Aaliyah asks, and Hydra sighs. It's still at the store. It was a lot to buy, so the girl here is going to set up the portal so we can just walk it all into storage. Hydra answers as she shifts out of the way to let Ashina see Aaliyah. The Lidris restaurant owner gives her a cheerful wave before gesturing for her to approach. She does. Aaliyah is all business, but far from harsh in it as Ashina tries to think. That girl, the criminal that showed up, wasn't that a protection racket? Send someone with a scary toy to get the goods in exchange for protection? Not much use if the woman with the toy needs the protection from the shop owner's sister. She sets up the portal and the pallets after pallets of raw supplies starts floating through even as Hydra apologizes for there not being enough powder. Aaliyah brushes it off, and within 10 minutes, Ashina is being gently pushed out the front door, and she's now walking back to the elevator that will take her all the way back up to the same level as the surplus store. Is there a fight I haven't been told about? What happened? The manager asks as she puts down the portal and starts to walk away. Her shoulder is grabbed and she's turned around. What happened? The customer had me right on their back all the way to the bottom level of the arcology when they jumped down. Then there was a gang member with a plasma gun that was slammed into the wall and I'm trying to make sense of it. Make sense of what? The manager asks. Never mind, I don't even know what I'm thinking. Can I go now? Ashina asks, and the manager holds out 2 of her hands. She picks up and hands her the portal, then receives a nod. Thanks. As she leaves, the manager puts down the portal and pulls out her communicator. A speed dial later, and she waits only a couple of seconds before it's answered. Has my daughter done something? Mangowa asks immediately. She seems to be lost in thought. She's getting an early day off for helping a customer with a delivery. But, I don't know, she's lost it seems. Quiet, disheartened. I don't know how best to describe it. Despondent, maybe? Not depressed, but certainly not happy, the manager says. All right, thank you for telling me, Mangowa says. Have a good day. The call is then cut off, and the manager looks at the communicator before shaking her head and pocketing the device again. I suppose asking for normal interactions would be a bit too much since I work on Zalwar's Sausage Central. Hey, Mangowa says as she intercepts her daughter right outside the small apartment. Ashina looks at her, and the fire's gone. There's something dead in there. You want to talk? No, Ashina says, turning away and unlocking the door. Leave me alone. Mangowa stops the door from closing and follows her daughter in. That's the one thing I'm not going to do, my daughter. What is you so lost and confused? Really? You really have to ask that? Ashina asks. I wouldn't have asked if I simply had the answers, Mangowa says, and Ashina sighs. I'm nothing. Ashina says, Pardon? My big dream was going around with a big scary gun and getting everyone to do what I want. You showed me that it was small. That musclehead showed me how small it was. The stupid carob showed me how weak it was. And now I see it, and it's swatted down like it was nothing. Someone held a gun to you? Mangowa asked. Ha! They barely had time to power up their pistol before being nearly embedded into the wall. No threat, nothing. The kind of girl I thought I'd be, and little bugs are a bigger annoyance, Ashina says before walking into her bedroom and just falling down onto her bed. It's all pointless. I'm pointless. Oh, Ashina, that's the wrong lesson.